Hi folks, just wanted to give you a quick verbal on the assignment regarding figuring out per pupil operating revenue. Um, my major goal in this was to show you, number one, that there are resources at the CDE website that can do their best to explain how it is determined each school district gets a funding amount per child. Number two was to make sure you understand it's pretty damn complicated. When you have to have a 300 some odd line spreadsheet to determine ultimately how many dollars per kid each district gets, and when you have 178 school districts in the state and each school district gets a different amount per kid, it's just a concept I think you need to understand, but there are really some fundamentals about it. Those are that it matters how many kids you have, so there's a size factor, and that's just economies of scale. If you have, it's just a little more economical to address the needs of 1,000 kids in a school system than it is to address the needs of 150 kids, and so you'll find the system that has 150 kids will get more dollars per student, and by the same token it's more economical to address the needs of 20,000 kids as opposed to 1,000 kids in terms of economies of size. So that's a key in there. Another key is funding for at-risk pupils, and the problem there is, how do you define an at-risk pupil? The federal government, through the title programs activity that we already worked on, defines that as a kid qualifying for free or reduced lunch. And that affects Title I and Title II funding, as you guys have seen in that assignment. The state of Colorado uses the same method. And then there are other things that affect there, your special ed count, there's transportation issues as well, and so there's a whole slew of information that factors into what your funding per pupil will be. It's my opinion, and just my opinion, although I think it's the opinion of a lot of people in the state, that Colorado has a very inequitable funding system, because once again, if you tie any opportunity for a school system to get more dollars to local wealth, and whether that's property wealth or whether that's the extra spending money the community members have in their pocket, well, then you're going to set up an inequitable system. And I'm not saying that an equal system should be set up, but ultimately, whether or not a kid sits in a safe classroom should not be based on their zip code, where they live, and the amount of wealth, be it property or cash wealth, that the people who live in that district have. So those are the key takeaways I wanted you to have from this assignment. Some of you did great work on your posts, really outlining each step, probably far more than I would have expected. But the key is, if you can open that Excel spreadsheet and you can go down through that and diddle with some numbers and see what happens to a district, that's the key to me, that you understand exactly how this works. Every school district in the state of Colorado is in the budgeting process right now, and we're all opening that spreadsheet and we're adjusting our pupil count, our at-risk pupil count, and it's spitting out a number that we're going to get per kid, and a total number we're going to get in funding, whether it's from the state or from local property taxes, and that's how we're building our budgets for next year. It's not really any more complicated than that. Nice talking to you. See you again soon.